Dear friends and learners, let me welcome you to this live FB session on teaching learning through mobile apps. Extremely sorry for the technical delay. I am Ajith Kumar, Assistant Professor from School of Education, IGNOU. Friends, before starting our discussion on the topic, let me like to make very few announcements. The first one is why we have chosen such a topic for today's discussion. There are two reasons. First one is, this is of course a topic which is related to the course Information and Communication Technology, MES 032. This is a course of postgraduate diploma in educational technology program offered by the School of Education, IGNOU. Second reason is, as you are aware, across the country, the teaching learning process is now conducted through technologies. Various technologies are used for conducting teaching learning sessions. This is because we are in the lockdown period. So in such a scenario, desktop and mobile apps or mobile phones are mostly used by both teachers as well as students. So in such a situation, it's good to have a session on how you can teach as well as learn using the mobile apps. This is the second reason why we have chosen such a topic. Now, who all are benefited from this FB session? Who all can make benefit of this session? See friends, as you see in the title says it is teaching and learning through mobile apps. So there are situations where technologies are used in the educational processes. This could be for teaching, this could be for learning. Then technology can be used for assessment, technology is used for professional development programs. Then technology could also be used for managing and administering the educational activities. So there are various situations or possibilities where technology could be used in the teaching learning process, or as a whole we say the educational process. And you are aware teaching is mostly done by the teachers. So this session could be useful for the teachers as well as for the students. Then those who are engaged in the instructional designing processes, those who are in the e-learning industries, who are developing digital materials for teaching learning, and all such people can make use of this FB live session. Then the final one is, even though the title is mobile apps, at the end of the session I would be giving you some information about the various technologies that could be used in the teaching learning. See, these technologies are either falling into the free category or proprietary category. Free categories, by free category I mean these are mobile apps or technologies which are accessible freely, while for accessing and using the proprietary softwares you need to pay for it. So at the end of this session I would be giving some information about mobile apps as well as various technologies that could be used in the teaching learning process. Friends, with this introductory note, let me move to the session directly. In this session, what all points I will be covering? First, I'll give a brief introduction about the mobile apps. Then I'll have a discussion about the different types of mobile apps. Then I'll be discussing about a little bit about which you all are very familiar, the smartphones. Then the discussion will directly go to the various mobile apps and technologies that could be used in the teaching learning process. So friends, with this introductory note, we shall proceed to our discussion. Before discussing about the mobile apps, let me invite your attention to the screen. I have given a little idea about the statistics of mobile apps. The first one, which are expected to generate $189 billion, which is not that much relevant to us. The second line you can see, the Apple Store has 2.2 million apps available for download. We will see what the Apple Store is, which is very popular. Even then we will have a discussion. The third line you can see, it is 2.8 million apps available in the Google Play Store, which is the most commonly used app store. So you can see the number of apps available in the app stores, both in Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Then the fourth line, 21% of millennials open an app 50 times per day. See the usage statistics by the youngsters. 21% of the youngsters, they open an app 50 plus times a day, while 49% of people open an app 11 times each a day. So this is to just give you an awareness about the volume of the mobile apps and the usage. So it's very common, and we all know that mobile apps are being used extensively by every individual. So just to get an idea of the usage statistics, I had given this slide. Now let us move on to our discussion. So as I said in the beginning, we are starting with the mobile apps. What you need to understand what a mobile app is. See, mobile app is nothing but, as you see in the screen, they are software or application programs that can run through a browser or offline on computer and on a smartphone or other electronic devices like tablet, smart TVs, smart watches, etc. See, when we talk about the application softwares, there are two types of softwares. One is the system software and the other is the application software. Operating or system softwares are used to run the devices such as maybe TV, it could be TV, mobile devices, and any electronic or digital devices. So the softwares which are used for running such devices are called the system softwares. But if you want to use any particular application, if you want to use any application, you need to have specialized computer programs designed for that particular task. Let me give you a brief example. Suppose I want to develop an audio program. I need to have a kind of a particular software to record my voice, then to edit it and to share it with the digital device or wherever I want to make it visible. So to make such audio program, I need to have specialized application programs for designing that particular program. So to accomplish such specialized tasks, there are many application softwares. So mobile app is one of such application software which is used for completing a particular task. And where does then this mobile apps are used? Of course, since it is a mobile app, we use normally the mobile devices and especially the smartphones. It can be used in other devices such as smart TVs, smart watches, etc. Then these mobile apps are also called app, simply app, or web app, or online app, or a smartphone app. Then how does it differ from the other apps, such as in desktop also we use apps? The mobile apps will have limited function compared with the other apps, like like the one which we are using in desktop and all. So mobile app is something which is customized for the use in mobile devices. Since it is a small handheld device, you cannot accommodate all those functionalities which is available in other devices to a mobile app. So mobile apps are having almost all the facilities, but there will be some limitation. So there will be limited functionalities with the mobile apps. And the mobile app was popularized by the Apple Corporation. Then now, as I said in the beginning, as I shown you in the beginning, there are millions of apps in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. There are many other app stores. And the final point which I want to make about mobile apps is, it can be either free or proprietary. And see, there are millions of free softwares. On the other side, there are proprietary softwares also. For example, let me give a small example. The LMS platform, Learning Management System. The Learning Management System, which is a platform used to manage and administer all the teaching learning activities. Moodle is one of the very popular free softwares. Moodle. So Moodle is having some limitations. Moodle is having both the desktop version and the mobile version. And you can accommodate only 200 students in the free version. If you want to accommodate more students in the Moodle platform, you have to pay for it. So in a way, it is a free as well as a proprietary software. So there are many free and proprietary mobile apps. Maybe we can also say that in free softwares, the functions will be a little bit come, but there are good free softwares or free mobile apps which are having most of the facilities available like in the proprietary softwares. So friends, let me conclude my discussion on this mobile app, which is nothing but it is a software program, application software, which is used for accomplishing particular task and are run on offline or through a browser, and which are working on a small handheld or mobile devices. Now let us move to the smartphones and operating system. Why? Because when we are discussing the mobile apps, you should have a little bit idea about what this smartphone is about. You may be remembering the very old, maybe some 15-20 years back, the mobile phones. It was not having all those features that we are seeing today. But later, in 2007 and 2008, during that period, many smartphones came into the industry or the world. These smartphones are mobile phone used as a small computer that allows to do more than a phone call and text messages. So you may be remembering that the old phones which were simply used for making calls. But the smartphone that we are seeing today is having many functions, which is like a small computer. Whatever we can do with the computer can be equally done with the smartphone. So it's more than what we used to make calls and text messages, which was done in the previous mobile devices, mobile phones. Now the smartphones make use of, as I said in the beginning, there are two types of softwares. One is the system software and the other is the application software. So to run a mobile device, we need to have some kind of operating systems in the smartphone or mobile device. And the most popular free, a kind of a partly open source or free software is the Android operating system software. So Android is one of the operating systems used in the smartphones. So that's why we use sometimes the word smartphone and Android phone interchangeably. So smartphones run with the Android operating systems. There are other operating systems such as you might have seen the Windows phones. So Windows phone make use of the Windows operating system. Then there are iPhones, Apple phones which make use of iOS operating system. This is the short form of iPhone operating system. iOS is iPhone operating system. Then there are BlackBerry phones also. So that make use of the BlackBerry operating system. So friends, there are few operating systems which are very popular. The first one being maybe we can say the Android, which is an operating system which is used in the smartphones. And this operating system is used to operate or run the smartphone. And to accomplish, as I said, to do any particular task, we need to have application softwares which we call the, in short, app. So the smartphones run using the Android operating system, but to do any particular task, we need to have the application softwares or apps. Simply we call it as app. And the apps which are run in or used in mobile devices are called mobile apps. So this is about the smartphone and operating system. Now let us move on to the types of mobile app, which we will not be spending much time. Why? Because this is more of technological in nature. More technology aspects are being, coming in the types of mobile app. Even then, for the, your understanding, let me say there are three types of mobile apps. The first one is native app, the second one is web app, the third is hybrid app. Let me give a brief understanding about what does this apps refer to. The native app is something which is developed for a single operating system. Friends, we have seen that there are operating systems like Android operating system, Windows operating system, then iOS operating system. So if anyone develops a particular app which can be run on that particular device, then such apps are called native app. For example, almost all the apps which we are running in an Android or smartphone is the native app, like the WhatsApp, Facebook, maybe you can say IRCTC app, then the apps like teaching learning apps like maybe Photomath or Screencastify, and such apps which are used to run only in a particular operating system. So when an app is developed for a particular operating system, that is called the native app. And almost all the apps which we are using in the smartphones are the native app. Now coming to the web app, which is a mobile optimized web page that looks like an app. It's necessarily, it's not necessarily an app, but gives the feel of a application software. And this is the website which is customized for the mobile application. So when you are accessing any, web page in the mobile device, you will not be getting all the facilities which are available in the original version of that particular app, in the mobile app. So when you use any web page in the mobile device, the developers, the technology people, they customize the website to use it in the mobile device with the limited functions. So when such apps are developed, such apps are called web apps. Then there is a third category which is the hybrid app, which is a mix of both native and hybrid app, which makes use of both the features of web app and the native app. So friends, this is about a little about the different types of mobile app, which we are not that much into. Why? Because this is more of the job of the technology people. Even then, for your understanding, I had given you a little bit understanding and idea about the different types of mobile apps, which are majorly into three categories. They are the native app, web app and the hybrid app. Now let us move on to where these apps are available. I know you are well aware of the app stores. So this is the major place where mobile apps are available. If you are using the smartphone, of course many of the people use smartphones. And many a times you might have used the Google Play Store, which is one of the app repository. So this is the place where the app developers deploy their apps, mobile apps. So this is a place where the mobile apps are deployed and made available to the users. So as I said in the beginning, see, there are millions of apps in the app stores. For example, suppose as I said in the beginning, around 2.2 in the iPhone mobile app store, while it is bigger number in the Google Play app store. You can see in the slide a few app stores which I have quoted. The Google Play Store, which is the most popular, then maybe come the Apple App Store, then the third could be the Windows Store, then there are BlackBerry phones, App Store and all. So friends, this is a place where you can access the mobile apps and use for your particular action or task. I hope you might have understood what we have discussed till now. We have discussed about mobile apps, the different types of mobile apps, and the smartphones and operating systems and the places where it is available. Now let us move on to some of the benefits. As I said in the beginning, see, mobile apps are used both by the teachers and the students, as well as other people who are engaged in the teaching learning industry and people who are instructional designers. Now let me say why it is it is having so much of relevance, so how it is relevant or benefit especially the students who are learning. One important aspect is the students can easily access the teaching learning materials or learning materials. This is one of the important benefits. See, in the case of IGNOU, we have in our website there is IGNOU course, and we have made all the teaching learning materials, the self-learning materials in the IGNOU course. So whoever is joining in the IGNOU, any program of IGNOU, they can access the material from the IGNOU's website. This is one option. The second thing, IGNOU equally have a mobile app also. Now sometimes the students find little difficult to access the internet because of many reasons, and there are many people who are not having the what we call the desktop also. Okay, so for such people, many people might have the smartphone. Of course, nowadays many people have the smartphones. So it's very easy for the students to access through that mobile device the self-learning materials provided by or developed by the IGNOU. So it's not necessary to go back, to visit the IGNOU website. Rather than they can use the IGNOU e-cadet mobile app for accessing their self-learning material. So that way it's very easy, it's very fast and convenient for the student. The second time is it's available anytime. This is very common in the case of e-learning, technology enabled learning. You can access anytime, anywhere, and it's available 24/7. So this is maybe the second benefit. The third is students can easily share and exchange their materials. It could be anything, any teaching learning materials, any learning materials, any learning document which is related to their course or program, that can be easily exchanged and shared with their peers, their teachers, and whoever is involved in the teaching learning process. So this is the third benefit. The fourth one is improved interactive communication, which we are finding very popular or very common nowadays. I mean, many universities, many people, they are organizing what we call the webinars and online discussions, everything. And the interactive is very common in those platforms. Interactivity is very important in the teaching learning also. The teacher and student should, of course, definitely must interact always, so that it benefits both the teachers and the student. The teacher will come to know whether the students are understanding what the teacher is communicating to the students. At the same time, students also they can make sure that they are understanding what the teacher is telling. So this should be there across the teaching learning process, so that their teaching learning will be very effective and it improves their learning. So this is maybe the fourth benefit. The fifth could be the entertainment. It's very The teaching learning process is not, it should not be a kind of a monotonous activity. It should be like it should give a feel of an, what we say, students should not feel like they are in the teaching learning process. This is how the game based learning is gaining much relevance. In game based learning, the students will be given some activities which of course will be a teaching learning activity, and the students play like in the playground, but of course it is in the digital medium. So they will be playing a game like, and at the end they will learn something. So this is how then comes the entertainment part of the teaching learning process, and this leads to learning among the students. So this could be the fifth. Then the sixth is instant updates, which is very important in the teaching learning process, because even in our PGDET program we have created a Google Classroom, and almost whatever updates come from our organization, the IGNOU, we are making available this information to the students through the Google Classroom. So it's not necessary for the students to always visit the IGNOU website. Instead they get the information whenever something is posted in the Google Classroom. Now the next benefit is self-learning, which is of course very important. In LMS and or whatever the kind of technology we are using, students will be given the learning activities, learning tasks, and they will engage in the learning process, and by that it enhances their engagement and self-learning also. Then collaborative learning space. Of course, if it is a MOOC program and all, or if it is again the Google Classroom which I was referring to, there suppose I want to, as a teacher, if I want to discuss any topic, I can post the same in the Google Classroom. Then students can give replies or post their comments. Thus, this comment can be seen by the other students, and that way this becomes the learning becomes a collaborative process, and students automatically learn. The final one is it's very cost effective. You don't have to pay much money for accessing or using these mobile devices or mobile apps. So that way it is cost effective. So friends, I hope you might have understood some of the benefits of using the technology for your, or the mobile apps for your teaching or learning. Now let us move on to the apps part of our topic. I have given some of the apps. As I said in the beginning, friends, there are various technologies. The technology can be either free or proprietary. Some technologies are already there in the website or internet, which is hosted in the internet. Some what we call the technologies you need to download, and then only you can use that. Then this is the same with mobile apps also. You need to download the mobile apps if you want to use it. And where we will download the mobile app? As I said, you have to go to the Google Play Store. Then you can download whatever mobile app you want to use. So with this introductory note to these popular apps, let me move on to the various categories of mobile apps. It could be some technologies also. Okay, the technologies that you see in the slide, some of those technologies are having mobile apps, but some of the technologies doesn't have mobile apps also. But as a whole, for teachers, the teachers can make use of these technologies for their teaching, while the students can make use of those tools for their learning purpose. This is because since we are now conducting most of the teaching learning activities both in conventional and open distance learning, many technologies students need to use or student has to engage with. Why? Because suppose the teacher is asking the students to develop a video program or any animation. Like if it is for a school student, then the students can make use of any mobile app or any desktop app for developing the animation. So in that way, these apps are very relevant. Suppose the teacher asks the students to engage in a discussion forum, then of course the teacher need to use any discussion forum app for that, and the students of course need to have that app. So then only the teaching learning process will work. Suppose the teacher wants to test the students' understanding about their learning. If the teacher wants to check whether the students are learning or not, then of course the assessment has to be conducted. The teacher need to conduct some assessment. This is we call the e-assessment. If it is conducted through electronic means or digital means, we call it as electronic assessment. So in that case, friends, then technology or the mobile apps, both the students and teachers can use. So let me now, I hope why it is relevant. You might have understand a little about why it is relevant in the teaching learning process, the technologies and the mobile apps. Now I have listed various categories of mobile apps which it is belonging to. So you can see in the slide, the first one is e-learning tool, which is of course have a major use with the teachers. Why? Because e-learning is very important. Many teaching learning activities or teaching learning process is conducted through e-learning tools. As you see, some of them are, I will read out the major ones. EXE is one of the e-learning tool. Then SOE is there, of course it is by the Microsoft, it's the Microsoft product. Then TED, then you can see iSpring, then HO, then Camtasia, then Articulate, Adobe, Captivate. So these are some of the major or popular apps which are related to e-learning. Of course, EXE is one of the very popular softwares. In EXE, the teacher can develop the teaching learning materials. Of course, it should be the digital form. The teacher can develop the what we call the audio programs, video programs. Then the what we call the text can be prepared, documents can be prepared. So all those can be put or managed by the EXE software. So this is one of the maybe one of the popular softwares in the e-learning category. Then the second is quizzing and testing tools. See friends, as I said in the beginning, of course the teacher needs to what we call check the progress of the students. In the teaching learning process, the assessment is conducted in three ways mostly. The first is during the teaching learning process, which we call the formative assessment. Then at the end of the teaching learning process, which we call the summative assessment. Then the students also themselves check their understanding or their progress, which we call the peer assessment or the self-assessment. So in formative assessment, teacher has to give some kind of questions during the teaching learning process when it is happening. Okay, suppose the teacher, as a teacher, you are using any LMS like the Google Classroom, then you should have, you should prepare the questions to check the students' understanding progress also. If you are using Google Classroom, it's very easy then. Google is having a product called the Google Forms. You can prepare the short answer questions, essay questions, multiple choice, and many types of questions you can prepare in the Google Form. So when you are using the Google Classroom, you can prepare the questions with the Google Forms, and that can be put in the Google Classroom. So when the students read a particular chapter or particular unit or any course, then after that course the teacher can give a what we call the assessment question. So it is like a continuous process. It goes on with the teaching learning process, and you can award grades also. You can give marks also. So everything is possible. So quizzing and testing tools are very important in the teaching learning process. And as you see in the slide, class marker, easy test maker, exam buddy, hot potatoes, which is one of the very popular quizzing and testing software. Then My Gradebook, which stores the, it automatically generates the grades of the students also. Then Online Exam Builder, Respondents, Test Maker, all those are. Then the Google Form also, this is also. Google Form is, I have listed it in some other place. But this can also be used as a testing tool. So friends, this is maybe one of the tools. See, one of the category of tools which the teachers and as well as the students can also use. How the students will use such tools? As I said, there can have the self and peer assessment also. Okay. So the students themselves can create some questions and can be distributed among their peers. So let the peers attend that questions and let themselves check their progress in learning. So this is the second category, friends. Then the third, which I was always quoting, the learning platforms and LMS, which is nothing but this is a platform, digital platform, which is used for managing and administering the programs and courses. Of course, many things can be done using the LMS platform. Some of the platforms like Blackboard, which is very popular. Then Canvas is there. D2L is also very popular. Degree, Edmodo is another popular software. Google Classroom, pretty popular, which is used by many of the teachers nowadays. Then Mahara is there. Moodle is another software which is having so much of facilities which the teachers can use. Then PebblePad, Schoology, ThinkFic, Totara Learn, all those are learning management platforms. So in the LMS platform, what the teacher needs to do? The teacher needs to organize the teaching learning materials, can organize the assessment tests, can conduct exams, then can post the announcement, then can post the OERs related to, can post the video programs, any digital learning materials related to that particular course or program can be made available in the LMS, learning management system. So friends, as you see, this is a system. What system? It manages both the learning and teaching process and manages that. So that way it is called the learning management system. And many of these LMS platforms have the mobile apps also. Let me share you something what we have done in our PGDET program. We have a Google Classroom for our PGDET program, and we have made available all our self-learning materials for all the courses in the Google Classroom. Second, there is a section for announcements. So whatever announcements are made from the IGNOU side, that will be made available in the Google Classroom. Then there is a link for the assignments. So students can see the assignments in the Google Classroom itself. Then rest of the details which are, which is necessary for the students are also made available in the Google Classroom. So this classroom, this material, all those self-learning materials students can access through the mobile app of Google Classroom. Then friends, the fourth one is screen capture and screencasting tools, which are also very, very much used. Both the students and teachers can use that. Suppose as a teacher, I want to prepare a video program and I want to demonstrate what is done using suppose I am teaching the use of maybe the word processor, how to make a presentation. Then I can video shoot my screen which is running on the desktop, and that can be edited. This can be made available to the student. Similarly, if the students want to do something and submit to the teacher, that can be done using the screen capture and screencasting tools. So this is how nowadays we are seeing many videos developed by the teachers and the students. So some of the tools or mobile apps which you can use are the Cam Studios, Camtasia, Demo Builder, then the Screencast-O-Matic is also very popular. Then ScreenFlow is there. and all those, the Snagit. So all those tools both the teachers as well as the students can use, and many of these tools and is having the mobile version also, mobile app version also. Then about the audio and podcasting tools, which is very again popular, especially those who are in the language side. They usually prepare the audio materials and podcasting tools so for developing audio programs through which the students can learn the language skills. So it's not necessary to have always the video program, but instead they can have the audio version of their classroom lecture. And to develop such audios and podcast of course will be of shorter duration, but audio program can be of a bigger length. The duration will be much more bigger in audio program, but podcast will be will be very short that way. So the Audacity, which is free, then Easy Podcast, Hipcast, then Spoken Text, Vocaro, all these are very popular audio and podcasting tools. Friends, now let us go to the documentation tools, which is very much important. Usually teachers ask the students to submit some kind of project work or assignment. I mean, if that is the work, then we used to make use of the word processing software. Maybe if the students have the Microsoft Office package, they use the word processing software, Microsoft Word. But one thing about Microsoft, it is a paid software, and the students have to pay a good amount for procuring that software. Many times it may be difficult for the students. In such case, there is an equal alternative which is very popular. This is LibreOffice or OpenOffice. Both are open softwares. Okay, the students can go for the OpenOffice, which is equally available in mobile app also. So using that, whatever facilities are available in the Microsoft Word package, which is of course a proprietary software, is made available in the OpenOffice and LibreOffice also. Similarly, you can see the other softwares like Apple Pages, Bean, Google Docs, Wordle, Soho Docs, Writer. All those are, like good documentation tools, and many of those technologies tools have the mobile app version also. Now coming to the PDF and flipping book tools. You can see some of the tools like Adobe Acrobat Pro, then Adobe InDesign, Booklet Creator, which is very popular and common, flipping book, Google Docs. All those can be done, used for developing the PDF. Even with the documentation tool also you can develop the document and can be saved in a PDF. But if you want to have a flipping kind of the experience which we do with the hard copy of textbook or books, we turn each page. Okay, this is usually what we do with the books. So if the students or teachers want to get a feel of that flipping book, then such books can also be created using. So suppose if you want, as a teacher, if I want to make my students to have the feel of my SLM, self-learning materials of IGNOU, to have this experience, I can, of course, that can be converted into the flipping mode using the tools available which you are seeing on the screen. Now the presentation tool, which is also very popular. We always make PowerPoint presentations. Of course, it's a paid software from Microsoft company. As I said, the documentation tools like OpenOffice is also there, which you can use for developing presentation. Then the Prezi, SlideShare, Sway, VoiceThread, Google Slides, of course it's a free software. So many of these tools have the mobile version also. So this can be used for making some kind of presentation. Then for creating the spreadsheet, you can go with the Microsoft Excel, but on the other side you can use the LibreOffice, NeoOffice, then OpenOffice. All those can be used for developing spreadsheets. Now coming to the clipart image and photo sharing platform. Suppose a teacher asks the students to submit any kind of a written document supported with the pictures, then illustrations, images and all. then the students either they have to use their mobile to click a photograph and that can be put or attached with the device, or else they can go with what we call the free image sharing photographs such as Shutterstock, Pixabay, Unsplash, everything can be used. Now the graphic and infographic tools. Some of the tools which can be used for developing graphics are, you can see on this slide. Now for developing animation tools such as Adobe Animate, Apple iMovie, then Covivo, Powtoon, all those can be used. For developing augmented reality virtual kind of experience, which is useful for those who are studying the science programs, to give a real feel, virtual reality tools can be used. Then for developing blogs, many of those tools like Blogger, EduBlog, then WordPress can be used, and maybe the language students can make use of such tools for showing their writing skills and submitting all their activities which appears in the written form. So they can post, they can start a free blog that can be, and the same can be used for posting all those blog articles. Then if as a teacher, if you want to develop a web where you will make available all the tools, then the web page or site tools can be used like Google site, Mozilla, WordPress, everything can be used. Even the students can also have a separate web page of their own where they will post all those materials, and this can be evaluated by the teachers also. Then if you want to conduct any surveys which we normally do in a research study, form, polling, survey tools can be used. Many of those have the mobile version also. Then the email tools which are very popular like Yahoo Mail, Gmail, all those can be used. Then the communication has to be interactive, has to be instant, all those, it's very important in the teaching learning process. So many messaging and chat tools are available like Allo, then Finance Messenger, Skype, Telegram, WhatsApp, Yahoo Messenger, Zoom, everything is, nowadays it's commonly used, all those messaging and chat tools, which is of course having the mobile version also. Then as I said, if the students want to get a collaborative learning experience, discussion forum can be separately started. It can be in the Moodle platform, it can be in the Google Classroom, wherever you want. I mean, like if you are using the LMS platforms like Moodle and all, they have inbuilt facilities for the discussion forum. If you are not using the Google Classroom or any LMS platform, then of course the teachers can use the discussion forum. There are standalone mobile apps for creating discussion forum like 99 Chat, then Discourse is there, Vanilla Forum, MyBB, all those are very familiar and popular tools. Then audio response and back channels like Google Slides, Kahoot, Mentimeter, Poll Everywhere. These are some of the assessment tools teachers can use. If you want to check your students' progress in learning, these tools can be used for creating the assessment questions, and students can of course attend your questions. Then for conducting, which is also very popular nowadays, webinar and web meeting. If the teacher wants to communicate, either they can use the public social network sites like Facebook, which we are right now doing, or WhatsApp can be used, or like Adobe Connect, then Google Hangouts Meet, Go Meeting, Zoom, everything can be used. But of course you need to be very cautious when you are using, because there is some security issues connected with the Zoom app software. Then some of the social collaboration platforms like G Suite, Google Groups, Google Space, Microsoft Teams, all those are very popular. Equally they have mobile versions also. Then we public social network sites like Facebook, Google Plus, Instagram and all. Then if you want to use the to share your what we call the teaching learning documents, you can use, and to store those documents you can use the Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, everything can be, all those tools can be used. Then for collaborative online brainstorming and whiteboarding, you can use Lino, Padlet, which is having a what we call a blackboard, like which we call in digital space, it is a whiteboard actually. Then you can write whatever you want. You will have the facility for writing. So all those can be used. Then some digital notebooks tools you can see, a notepad, then knowledge notebook, all those can be used. Then for searching information you can use the browsers, of course Google Chrome, then the Bing, Yahoo search, all those are there. Then for getting news you can use all those news making available softwares and bookmarking it. If you feel something to be bookmarked which is relevant for you, suppose you are reading a PDF material, you want to bookmark something, then you can use the bookmark tool. So that can be at a later stage you can easily identify that important point. Then very popular mind mapping tools, if you want to have a complete overall look about the concept that you are reading in a course, you can develop the concept map. This will help during your at all stages of your learning. Suppose I am developing a concept map of my course 1 or course 2, which we are discussing now. So what all points are there in course 2 that can be developed in a concept map. So the whole book can be shortened, can be made into a single page. So you will come to know what are the main points that are discussed in the course 2nd or MES 32. So for that you can use the digital tools. Many of these tools have the mobile version also. Then journaling apps you can see, day 1. Personal productivity tools you can see. Personal social media dashboards you can see. Players and readers for the web, there are many. If you want to play the audio video programs, you have to use all those softwares. Then web browsers you can see. Then the personal devices like all those tablets, iPhone, Apple and all. Now I hope you have understood some of the tools which both the teachers and students can make use of. Now let me discuss about the Google Apps, which is a reservoir of many free tools. Of course the teachers and students can make use of these tools for various purposes. And this is available in the Google website. You can access from your Gmail also. When you access your Gmail account, on the right extreme you can see a square shaped, there is a square shape, you will find many dots in that. You have to click on that, then all the apps developed by the Google company will be coming out. So you can choose whatever tool you can you want to use. All those tools are free of cost. You don't have to pay anything for them. And many of those tools have very advanced features like Google Classroom, Google Slide, then Google Hangouts and Meet, then the Google Drive where you store all your materials which will be stored there forever. You will not be losing the data when you are storing in a Google Drive. Then Google Scholar where you post your materials like whatever articles you have written. All those can be stored in the Google Scholar. For social science students they can use the Google Earth, then Google Maps everyone can use. Google Translate, if you want to translate a sentence from one language to other, you can use the Google Translate. So all those are free tools which are having, many of those tools have the mobile version also. Friends, let me come to my the last slide of my presentation. Sorry, before that let me give you an idea about some of the Indian apps. Swayam, which is of course a platform for running the MOOC courses, is having the mobile app version also. Then Swayam Prabha, which is a compilation of 32 channels, where you will find many video programs related to almost all the subject disciplines. Then ePathshala, where you find many teaching learning materials related to higher education. The other very popular is the National Digital Library, where it's a digital library where many articles, books, in PDF form is available. So the material that is related to your subject or program you can search in the digital library. It's a huge library where many materials are made available, which is having the mobile app version also. Then of course our IGNOU C-Content app, where this can be accessed by any learner across the country. They can see the self-learning materials provided or developed by IGNOU. All those materials are available in the IGNOU's e-content app. Friends, now let me come to some of the most popular mobile apps the students and teachers can use. I'll quickly run through these mobile apps, then we will wind up the session. Kahoot, which is for developing the what we call the assessment and test and all. WPS Office. This is a office package like Microsoft Office, which is specifically made for the mobile devices. AnyDesk, which you can use for transferring your mobile screen with other devices. Kaisala, another assessment app. Remind for communication and messaging. Animation for developing any animations. Then Book Creator, Nerapod, then Explain Everything, iMovie. All those are like you can use for developing book, and Nearpod for noting down the notes. Then iMovie for creating video programs. Then SOE is there, Duolingo for language learners. Then Evernote for noting down your what we call the class notes. Then TextFairy is there, where you can scan the PDF material, then the text will be converted to word form. TextFairy is there. Then Socratic is another assessment tool. So these are some of the tools which both the teachers and students can use. So friends, I think our session is over now. In today's session, I hope I have conveyed many things regarding the mobile apps. And as I said in the beginning, both the teachers and students can make use of these mobile apps. For teachers, they can make it, use it for their teaching purpose, while students can use it for their learning. I hope you might have benefited and understood the concept that we have discussed today. And if you have any queries, definitely you can reach me at my email ID. And I congratulate our officials and IGNOU for giving this opportunity, and I thank our learners and dear students for watching this session. Thank you.